This is just the word that they use to talk about surface area volume measurements, right? So if the question says go find me surface area and volume, you are way back into grade 7. Surface area and volume of, what is this? A prism, technically, because a cube would be all the sides are equal and they're not. Prism. And even if it's a cube, you can still speak about a prism. No problem. Surface area, what do? Add all the sides together. Now you were taught in primary school that it is like 2 times length times breadth, plus 2 times length times height, plus 2 times breadth times height, and you were even taught specific, there has to be a certain order, and that's not true. You can have this in any order, as long as that length times breadth, I'm meaning the bottom length. And I time it with 2 because it's top and bottom. That's it. This is a solid thing. Obviously, that'll change if I say that this is a little box without a lid. Then there would only be one of them. And I wouldn't say times 2. So you've got to look at the specific scenario that's been given, but they will tell you exactly what's given. If it's a solid box, there's a top and a bottom. There's a front side with the length times the height, and it doesn't really matter if I call this length and this breadth. Who cares? You with me? Basically, it comes down to, it's going to be 6 times 4 for the top and the bottom. For this front piece, it's going to be 6 times 5. Remember, the height stays the same. And for this right hand and left hand side, it will be 4 times 5. So basically, you're just doing rectangles. Rectangle there times 2 for the left and the right. Front and the back. Top and the bottom. And what is the answer, please?
148
centimeters square. How come? Area. So usually we don't deduct in normal maths for the units, but do the units right. If there was nothing there, we would normally say square units. We don't know the units. And if you don't say anything, also you shouldn't be losing any marks. But it's important to realize the square being about area. Let's do the volume. So in the case of volume, it'll always be. Now, this is what you were taught in primary school, and you were perfectly right. I would like you to always remember when you do volume that it is the area of the base times the perpendicular height. And very often we use a capital letter, especially if there's more than one height with triangles and stuff. Capital letter, small letter, doesn't matter. But you have to just substitute in the 6 and the 4 and the 5 in whichever order, and the answer is 120 cubic centimeters because it's volume. Here's the part that I want to emphasize, because you did do this in grade 10 as well, and I'm sure you forgot. So if I say, if the prism measurements are increased or timed by scale factor 2, what will the answer then be? Let me just make sure that 2 was it scale factor 2? I think it was 2. What does it mean? Find me if the prism measurements were timed by scale factor of 2. What would be the new surface area? And what would be the new volume? This same thing, but it's now increased by scale factor 2. What does it mean if I have to go sketch this thing? This will be 12, 8, 10. So do I do the whole sum just over again? Well, you can. You can. You're wasting a little bit of time, but that's also true. I want to teach you that if you do that, you can just say the original one was 148, right? That answer was 148. Then you can just time it by scale factor 2. No, that's not true. You must time it by scale factor 2 squared. And if you actually go do it, you'll realize what I'm saying is true. If you actually go say times with 2, times with 2, times with 2, work it out and see that the answers are correct, you'll realize what I'm saying is true. Because that's a phenomenon that you can just know. So in other words, I'm actually timing this with 4, right? And the answer is? Still centimeters square. So help me here with volume. The volume is going to be timed with 2 cubed, yes, because it's volume. That's a fantastic shortcut phenomenon that if you can use it, you're going to save time. Otherwise, you'll have to go and do this thing again with 12 and 8 and 5, and you're going to get this answer still, which is 9 cubic centimeters for the volume. Nice and easy old work, right? Just this phenomenon. Do they always ask it?
No.
Rarely. But if they do, you should know it. Okay, so we're inside of a cylinder now. Also old work, nothing new yet. If I do the surface area, what would be the surface area of a cylinder? Surface area. 2 circles, right? Plus the rectangle side. Is this going to be worth any marks to you? I'm just trying to help you that you don't have to know that it's 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. And if you do know it, fantastic. But you realize if I now said, listen, let's paint this thingy, and it's closed at the bottom, it's like a water container, tumbler, whatever. So it's obviously open then at the top. What changes? Then that'll only be 1 pi r squared for the bottom one. And if it was a pipe, then this would completely fall away because there's no top and bottom, they're all circles if it's a pipe. Are you with me? Look at the technical stuff. So we have to tell you whether it's solid or not. If we don't tell you, you assume that it's the original total one. So you just have to substitute in. The value of pi you don't have to know, but you do know it. It's 3,14 what? Irrational number. You with me? And the radius is 4. Have you seen questions that they gave you the diameter is 8, so you just had to realize then the radius is 4? Little connections that you've got to go make. And then still the radius stays 4 for the side, and the height there was 6, in whichever way you want to write it. And I just need an answer, please.
251 centimeters.
Thank you. For volume, what is the volume of anything? Area of the base times the height, which means this area of the base is a circle, which is pi radius squared. So either you know it off by heart or you can figure it out for yourself. Substitute the r again with 4, the h with 6. Answer please.
302 centimeters.
Right. Let's again do scale factor. If I enlarge the dimensions, let's talk a little bit different English. If the dimensions are enlarged by scale factor, let's make it 3. What would be the new surface area? Times 3 squared. And the answer is, please? 2259 still, centimeters, and still square because I'm busy with area. For volume, if this dimensions have all been timed with a 3, if I make it smaller by a third, then the scale factor is a third. And then you'll still take the scale factor, whatever I give it to you as, and say to the power 3 if it's volume, and to the power 2 if it's surface area. Are you getting this whole essence of it?
Yes.
Answer please.
8154.
Still centimeters to the power of 3. Scale factors. Okay, into the cones and the spheres. In a cone, the formulas I've already written down there for you, but in the sphere, I've written it here like that can happen in a question paper. I give you the questions, but you've got to know which one goes where. So quickly tell me, the one with the 3 goes with the volume. And that other one then is with the surface area. Now that is for a full sphere. You're going to get to it now because it's not a full sphere. It's cut in half. So it's half a sphere. quarter of a sphere, you with me, can happen. So for this one then, normal cone, and I'm assuming if they don't say anything else that it's solid, and they want, first of all, the volume, so you just substitute in the R width. 7,5, don't be fooled. 7,5. And the height was 34 centimeters. Answer please.
1, 6, 2, 8, 6, 0.
And it was also centimeters. Just centimeters, shush. Volumes, right? Surface area, you know where they come from, that it's about the base circle. We said, we assume that if they don't say anything, the whole thing is solid. So then this one would be the surface area, the circle down there. Yes?
Yeah, our answer is wrong. It's 1845,75.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to this one then for surface area, realizing that this is the circle. So if they said it was an open ice cream cone, then this one would have been gone. I'm only trying to paint the sides. So it would be pi times the R would again be 7,5. The R 7,5, but square this time. And you see they use the L here, because they can. You've got to realize they often use L. I don't know why. But that is for your slant height. So they could have just said a S there. You've got to know that they sometimes use it something different, which was, now where's my slant height? Do I have it? How are you going to get it? Oh no. So you have to first go get the slant height by either using Pythagoras, and nobody can tell you you're not allowed to use Pythagoras because that's old school in grade 8 and grade 9. And I need the slant height then, please. Is? Say again? 2, 1. Okay, is that the complete answer?
Yes.
And then just for slant height? Yes?
34,8.
Just 8. 0 then. Okay? So this is 34,80. That's going to go in there. And your answer in total then again would be, now guys, if you wanted to do this separate, that's separate, add them together at the end, that's also fine. One complete answer, please.
6326,38.
Okay? And then volume we've already done. No, nothing here with scale factors, although we could do it. Just double check for me guys if it's right. Okay, then for the volume of this thing, let's say it's a cake that your mom baked in a half of a form of a hemisphere, and I asked you for the volume. Then you would say, not 4 over 3 pi and r that was 14 in this case to the power, because that is a full one. Now if you want to work out the full one first, give me the answer and say divide by 2, you're perfectly right. Or you can go from the start and say it's only half of that. You're not saying you must be in like a specific form. You've got to work it out yourself. Answer, please. It's there, guys. 1.
Wait, 1?
Okay, I'm going to get to that answer just now, please. And then it'll be 4 pi times r, which was 14 here, and squared for surface area, and that's not right. This surface area means I want to take this thing and I want to cover it with icing or whatever. Or it's a paperweight that's on there, and I want to paint it on the outside, meaning I still short the bottom, which is a what? That bottom is also a circle, pi r squared, with that same radius of 14. Now, could I not add them and say that that is 5 pi r squared? Yes, you can, but you don't have to. As long as it makes sense to you. But the surface area is only going to be the ball, the cone, the dome. You still need the bottom. If you want to go this way and fill it in and get the answer, perfect. If you want to do it this way, it's also perfect. And give me an answer, please. This one. Oh yes, I didn't say half a surface area. That's right. Sorry, I made a mistake there. So this would be the half a dome because it's half of, but that's just the half dome. You still need your bottom circle. So then if you add it, this would be 2, right? 2 and 1 would give you 3, and you can do it that way or you can fill it in here. Please give me an answer. 1, 8.
47,26.
And this would be centimeters squared, surface area. This would be centimeters cubed because it's volume. And please give me the answer.
5747,02.
Somebody agree with me, please? 2. Alright, guys. So it just gets interesting when it's only half and you're going to add some surfaces to it. But basically, it's about knowing your formulas and being able to work with them.